Okay, so this is a video of me explaining what happens during a Mars mahadasha, or what could happen during a Mars mahadasha, which is a 7-year long planetary time period. And as I said pretty much damn near in my previous mahadasha videos, this probably be only like 25%. A quarter of it might relate to you, because in general, I mean, for it to really specifically pinpoint and hit you hard, I need to know that house, that sign, that nakshatra, conjunctions, aspects, and all that other stuff. But since we just talking about what could potentially happen in general, you know, I can only say stuff that might hit home and what might not hit home. So, as I've told you before, I might be looking at my notes and stuff, so you'll probably see me looking down on my phone a lot. So one of the things that can happen during a Mars mahadasha is that, one, you could deal with issues and themes and stuff in relation to male friends and brothers, because that's one of the significations and significators of Mars. Mars also originally rules the first house, which is Aries, and the 8th house, which is originally ruled by Scorpio. The first house dealing with the body overall and the health in your head. You could deal with you could work out. That's one thing I would say that you could do more likely with Mars. You begin to, work out and sculpt and mold your body with Mars, doing your Mars mahadasha. And with Mars originally ruling the 8th house, the 8th house is associated with death and accidents and surgeries. And then 8 places from the 8th house is the 3rd house, which is also known as a marker house, a death-giving house, an end-giving house. And that house deals with skills to hands. So therefore, doing your Mars mahadasha, you can see themes in relation to surgeries during this time. So themes in relation to surgery could be seen during your Mars mahadasha, and you might get stuff like, you might get a tattoo during that time, because I believe Mars is related to blood and maybe even ink. So, and Mars is associated with weapons and knives and guns and sharp objects. So you getting a tattoo sort of falls underneath that jurisdiction, and you could be very likely to get a tattoo during the mahadasha of Mars. Another thing, like I said, surgeries, or just anything that could potentially draw blood from you. So like I said, you might go to a doctor's appointment, they draw blood. You might go to a hospital, you might get into an accident, an injury, you might get involved in sports, you might get into a fight. All these different little type of activities and things that can likely penetrate you and hurt you and draw blood from you. Those are the things that are likely and possibly can happen to you during your Mars mahadasha, your Mars planetary time period. Another thing that can happen during your Mars period is that you can get involved in things in relation to land, because Mars is a significator of land. So I don't know, you might get a home potentially during this time, but then again, you see, Moon is more so home, Mars is more so a significator of land. They can both be synonymous, but who knows, during your Mars period, you might try to acquire some land for a business or whatever, or something. The business or whatever you acquire on that land, it might not necessarily be a home, but you're just probably purchasing land or something. It could be home, but I just know that Mars is known to be a significator of land, so things in relation to that might also pop up during this time. What else could I say during this period of Mars that you could deal with? Looking at my notes. You could deal with things in relation to fire, because Mars is a significator of fire. So you could get burnt maybe with Mars during your Mars planetary time period. And like I said, get into a lot of accents, but I know I said it like a million times, so I'm gonna stop saying that shit. But that's really the main things that will happen to you in general during your Mars period. So as I do with all my other videos, all my previous mahadasha videos. I'm gonna just be repeating myself to, like I said, to get further more details on and to assess what will happen to you during your Mars mahadasha. For one, you gotta look at the 3 different lugnas, the 3 different ascendants, the birth ascendant. See where Mars is at. In that area, that house will be an area of prime importance and focus during your Mars mahadasha. The second ascendant you want to look at it is things from your moon lugna. You want to see how will things look from that lugna. And then you want to look at things from dasha lugna, which means you make Mars the ascendant and you see how your chart looks. And I know I say you should use 3 different ascendants, but I really should be saying 4, because the 4th one that you could use is the sun chart. So you make sun your ascendant. And you look at where does the Mars fall, and that's how you can assess the possible various things that can occur and happen to you during the dasha of your Mars. Me personally, I just be using the moon chart, which means make moon the ascendant and look at where a planet is at. I use the birth chart, just use your birth ascendant and see where is the planet falling at, where's Mars at. Or just use dasha lugna and see where Mars is at. And depending on how the chart turns out by shifting those lugnas around, you know, you see the results depending on what you're looking for. And you would just do that same thing over the course of several other divisional charts if you want to go and look and pinpoint and focus on a particular thing in relation to a divisional chart, or if you want to focus on, you know, a specific area of your life, you will go to that divisional chart. That's really sort of the basis of, you know, predictive astrology, using various different mahadashas like Chara dasha, Yogini dasha, Vimshotri dasha, and all these other dashas, and you just keep flipping the lugnas around until you see that just about doing a same unanimous time period over the course of at least maybe 3 different mahadasha systems show the same thing. Then you can make a prediction that because I see the same three things show up over the system, you would be like at least have 3 different mahadashas, 3 different dasha systems. Like I said, Chara dasha, Yogini dasha, or Vimshotri dasha, and you would want to see that the same thing lines up at the same time during the same different time periods. And if those things line up, that you can tell a person that during that particular date, that particular time frame, that this specific event, that whatever you're looking for can happen, can occur. You know, that's sort of like the foundation and, you know, the structure of predictive astrology, at least from a Vedic sidereal perspective, to my knowledge and understanding. But that's essentially all I have to say about what you can expect to happen during your Mars mahadasha and how to assess what could happen during your Mars mahadasha. And I'll see you when I make my next video.